Alright everyone, welcome back to the Sound Booth. My name is Lombax.
I'm Josh Crespo.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Tobin. Tobin, real quick, can you tell us where you are from?
Right now, I'm originally from a small town outside of Houston called Stafford.
Awesome.
Are you currently in Houston right now?
Right now, I'm living in Sugarland.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, man, it's cool to get you on because I've seen you working for a while and you got the consultation thing going and your beats are flying off the shelf. So it's cool to see and talk to somebody else who's doing it full time and making consistent money and providing for his family. It's really cool to see, man.
A little bit about Tobin, you guys. He was working a full-time job sometime around here last year and quit that and went straight into consulting and just making beats. So we do want to ask, what first got you into making music?
Started making beats around 2010. I got into beats because I was really into a lot of hard trap music, Waka Flocka, Gucci Mane, Bree Squad era, Southside, Lex Luger beats. You know, that really got me into production, and I feel like a lot of people around my age had that same story. That was a real inspiration for me to like really just go hard with the beats. Right. But I didn't really start selling my beats until like a few years ago.
But when did beats really start picking up and the whole thing? Because you're big on Track Train and you're always posting the screenshots of sales and people like that stuff.
They just started, you know, it consistently builds, you know, the more you work and the more you find techniques that work for you. I kind of go over these things, and whenever I talk to other producers, you know, it doesn't really matter how long you really do it. It's just about finding that right technique that's going to put you out and make you stand out from everybody else. I feel like a lot of that has to do with my aesthetic, my name, and my brand.
Right.
Yeah, man, that was actually leading into our next question is, how did you get your name?
You know, just being around some friends in school, you know, they wanted to start rapping. I wasn't really into rapping, and you know, I was like a, you know, behind the scenes dude, and like I knew like I did music, like I didn't know about like making beats. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know I could make beats. I wasn't like into that. Being around you know, certain friends, you know, that inspired me to start making beats. We all just started giving each other different names. I forgot how we went about it, but you know, somebody was just like, "Hey, your name is Tobin." I'm like, "Okay."
And then you added the throat.
And so I
where did the throat come from?
I went through 3 different name changes as a producer. Like when I first started making beats, like I think my name was like Nexus Beats.
Okay.
Like, and then after that, I decided to change it because I feel like, you know, that was a little generic. So I started calling myself Tobin Supreme. I started seeing more people say that name, like have Supreme in their name with the money sign S.
Right.
I started seeing a lot of people do that, so I'm like, you know, I need to do something that really stands out. I just decided, you know, I'm gonna change my name again. And this one, I was really living in like Houston, like in Sharpstown. My name Tobin.
Throat's like a Houston kind of term or something like that.
I remember hearing that from, I think, A$AP Rocky at first.
Yeah, it just came to my mind, you know, everything just comes to my mind, you know, and I always like do a background check on stuff. Whenever you look up my name, that's all you see is me.
Yeah.
So
that's perfect for the SEO.
That's engine optimization.
Yeah, search engine optimization. I got a quick question. I think it would be kind of cool. So if you search your name on SoundCloud and on Spotify and stuff, you pop up, and then obviously your project Adult Swim came out pretty recently, but then a bunch of your features come out of people you produced for, and those got some big numbers to it. What do you think is your biggest streaming release to date?
I think my biggest streaming release, it's probably a Cyber song.
Cyber song?
And he's blowing up.
Cyber song. I'm actually working on like a few placements right now. Like
there you go.
Like I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm actually working on some bigger placements.
Okay.
But probably my biggest artist I produced for is Cyber.
How'd you link up with him?
Yeah.
I just known Chase for a little minute. I don't know him, but we was like on the same producing scene like back in like 2010 YouTube type beats.
Right.
You know, type beats been around for a long time. I just known him for a really long time from that production era.
Okay.
So I kind of linked up. I kind of hit him up a few years ago because that's when he was doing his thing at Syringe, and that's when he was really coming up and building his fan base and really coming out, going, being out there. So I kind of just hit him up and I was just like, "Yo, bro, you remember me?" He was like, "Yeah, I remember you." So it's just like an instant connection. I sent him some beats. You know, uh, we just clicked after that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Those natural connections that just work out like that and they help you out.
It's like the best part. So Tobin, real quick, can you talk to us on your creative process? Like, where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, what inspires you?
Yeah.
Recently, what's been inspiring me has been just knowing how to put together my own chords.
Okay.
The chord progression. I've been studying that a lot and utilizing that, so it gives me advantage of making better loops and creating better sounds. And what it really inspires me is having dope VSTs. And having good sounds is always key to just being a good producer.
Yeah.
Creative, unique sounds that stand out to people, catch their ear real quick.
Yes.
Heck yeah, because you'll be going through all those samples in your sample packs and just skipping through sounds within like a second or two of hearing it.
It's like a half a second.
Yeah,
dude. Be like, no. Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like it gives kind of more clarity to you as a producer when you just kind of sit down and make it yourself. I have nothing against loop makers or people that use samples. I use samples heavy.
Yeah.
I don't care, bro. Like,
yeah,
I use loops and I make my own loops.
Yeah.
And it's just like you get the best of both worlds.
Gotcha,
man.
How would you describe the music that you typically make? For anybody first time hearing, Throw Tobin. Yeah, how would you describe your music?
I would generally describe my beats as alternative trap because like my sound is more raw than the pop sound, the pop tight, clinchy type of beats you kind of hear now. Like my sound is more raw.
Right.
I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so Tobin, I was checking out your music, and I really like the Suicide Boys type beat and the Wiz Khalifa and Weekend type beat. How'd you get into that?
Me and my boy I made it with my boy Timeless Beats.
Okay.
He sent me some loops over, and I was going through the sample, and I, without the vocal, the Knock the Doors Down sample, I was just, for some reason, I just had like a screw sample in my head whenever I was going through playing the sample bag, and so I decided to just add that Knocking Doors Down sample on it, and then just added some hard DJ Smokey type drums on it, and I just went off.
There you
it was
go.
a wrap.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you have some traction. You're building up some names under you. If you could work with anybody right now, who would it be? If they just picked up the phone for
Any
you?
collaboration.
Probably Future.
Yeah.
Future. Hey, there you go.
That's awesome, man. That's a cool one. That'd be a cool sound.
Yeah.
Because you bring a different sound for sure to it.
I just make it like that hard trap sound, so Future can really rap over anything, so
That's true.
that's why I choose him.
Gotta give it to him.
Rap, sing over anything.
Seriously.
Do you do a lot of like drill type stuff at all? Like, do you make drill beats since that's kind of a thing right now?
Thrill beats?
Drill.
Oh, drill. Oh, I haven't really experimented with it. I just feel like, that's gonna be its own thing. But there's always gonna be the need for that original sound.
Right.
But it is fun, mess around with it. Shout out to people that do that shit. It's real hard. Shout out Pop Smoke, bro. I was really getting to his music right before he died.
Yeah. Yeah, I started hearing about him a lot too right before he passed away. It's sad, man. That one was a crazy one.
Yeah.
'Cause they just broke in, and that's not like the rest of them that you're hearing about.
Yeah, just sad. But drill, I feel like that's gonna be its own thing in itself.
Drake's making
It's
it pop.
already it's already making its own name for itself. So
Heck yeah.
it's always gonna be there, you know.
That's true.
It's gonna be another part of hip hop, as like, you know, trap is, hip hop, boom bap. You know, it's just another fabric of hip hop.
True.
Which is all dope.
Very true.
All right, throw Tobin. So how many hours, you know, a day or a week do you typically work on your craft?
It can vary, honestly. I would say like it's definitely different from whenever I was working, you know, my job. Because usually when I was working my job, I would wake up, and sometimes I would wake up early, but most of the time I would do everything after I got off work.
Right.
I would get off work around 5 or 6, and I would be on my computer. I would get off at like 5, and I'd be on my computer by like 6, or I would do about 5 to 6 hours of work a day.
Wow.
And on weekends, I would pretty much be on the computer all day.
There you go.
Putting in, pretty much all day.
Okay.
And I would just be either working on beats or organizing customers or working on how to reach new people or finding out different ways to advertise. You know, just a variety of different things that go into, you know, selling beats and getting your name out there.
That's the
but right now,
you gotta have.
I typically like spend all day on my computer. You know, it's not really a given time that I spend. You know, I do it every day for a set amount, at least like 5 to 6, 7 hours, 8 hours.
And that's that dedication you have to have, especially when having a full-time job. You know, at least putting 3 days a week into it after you get off work, at the very least.
What's crazy is that, you know, it can happen, you're putting a good
Here's another example, someone doing it full time.
Exactly.
That we've interviewed, like.
So anybody who's watching, if you're, you know, working your full-time job, you're trying to get to that level, it's definitely possible. You just gotta cut out some distractions, whether it's anything that you're being distracted with. If you really want to make it, here's another prime example. So
yeah. All right, Third Tobin. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate all the wisdom, the gems, you know, everything you've learned over the past few years doing this full time. It means a lot to us that you jump on here on the Sound Booth, episode 6.
Episode 6, crazy.
Thank you, man. We're gonna jump out of here. If you want to say anything to the people real quick before we go.
Nah, just appreciate y'all for having me, and wish everybody good luck. Keep working.
We'll be throwing your links and maybe even your email address if people are trying to get in contact with you, because we know you do some consultations. So we'll have that all dropped below. But other than that, have a great rest of your day. Everybody who's watching, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Later, man.
All right, thank you.
Later.